Hi, I'm Darryn Farrugia and welcome. So this is the February 2021 single stroke roll resolution. If you don't know what this is, back on January the 1st, 2020, wow, what a year that was, my New Year's resolution was to be able to play a single stroke roll at 200 beats per minute for 1 minute by the 1st of January 2021. And well, I didn't get there, so I'm still working on it. So this thing's going to be ongoing. And so what I do every month is I update you on where I'm at and also what changes I've made to my routine. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So let's get into it. So you heard me playing at 182 beats per minute, and that's kind of, my upper limit tension-free at this stage. And when I say tension-free, if I play this single stroke roll for a minute at 182, the first 30 seconds are kind of okay, and then the next 30 seconds start to feel like work. So I'm not pushing myself beyond that point, but I'll tell you an interesting thing that happened this week. Last week, I kind of got a bit slack and I didn't practice for 5 days, or at least I didn't practice this for 5 days. I was learning songs and doing other stuff, and I kind of just let this sit. So there was 5 days of me not practicing this stuff at all. So when I came back to practice this on Monday, today is Thursday, when I went to practice this on Monday, wow, everything felt really easy and relaxed, and I actually hit 186 for a minute, which is the fastest I've played for a little while. So it's making me think that daily practice could be perhaps 24 hours is not enough time between practice sessions for the muscles to fully recover. I'm not really entirely sure, or perhaps what has happened is that as I've practiced over the subsequent days, maybe I've built up a little bit of tension. So that was an interesting revelation to me. Anyway, let's talk about my routine. So the first thing I do is I stretch, and the stretch that I do is a stretch that was taught to me by my dad when I was a little kid, and then again reinforced and taken to another level when I was learning with my teacher, Frank Corniola, from about the age of 15. And that stretch is basically this one. I've done a video of it, which I'll link below, but this is the stretch. I do this 10 times. It's the very first thing I do, and I try to do this in a controlled and slow method, or slow way of doing it, just so that I'm not sort of running the risk of pulling anything or hearing sounds that I don't want to hear when I do this. So I do that 10 times. And then the next thing I'll do is my big singles warm-up. Now the big singles warm-up, I've also done a video on, which I'll link below, and it's basically a single stroke roll using full strokes, full range of motion, full rebound. I'm doing that at 100 beats per minute, and I'm playing that for 4 minutes. So that would kind of look like this. So the point is to just be really loose. As you can see, my hands are very open. I'm allowing my fingers to come off the sticks. Again, full rebound, full range of motion, full strokes. Now, the next bit of the practice is what I consider to be the real meat and potatoes part of the practice. And that is that I will play a single stroke roll, definitely not at my top speed, but somewhere below that for 20 minutes. And at this point, I'm playing it at 152 for 20 minutes. Now the key to everything, and especially this bit, is to aim to keep it as tension-free as possible. So I want you to imagine it if you are playing a single stroke roll at 150 for 20 minutes, being in that one position and moving repeatedly for 20 minutes, you're going to start to feel a little bit of tension building up. So what I do is I change my left hand position. So let me give you an example. I'm going to set the metronome to 150. So that's the tempo. Now when I talk about changing my hand position, I'll just give you a few bars of the different positions that I play in just to help alleviate any tension that's building up. As you can hear, those different positions do sound different. So, you know, that's a hard thing for me to control, but I'm working on it. But, you know, moving those different positions, and, you know, Steve Smith, the great Steve Smith, uses the word embouchure. And what he means by that is those different hand shapes that you can get into. You know, lots of different drummers will have an embouchure that they kind of use as their primary hand shape. And so I'm just switching between a few of those embouchures or hand shapes in order to alleviate the tension from building up. So anyway, I do that for 20 minutes. Now, obviously 20 minutes can be a little boring doing that. So I actually do sit in front of my screen here and, you know, I'll watch a YouTube video while I'm doing that. So, you know, I could be watching, you know, cricket videos, watching Viv Richards, or I could be watching woodwork videos or boxing videos or car detailing videos, anything like that. Just something to keep me sort of entertained, and I like being informed and I like learning new things. So while I'm practicing, I may as well watch something that may educate me. When I do the big singles warm up and then when I do the 20 minutes of single stroke rolls, I use this pad. Now this is the, I've talked about this pad before. This is the ProLogic's Blue Lightning pad, and it's quite a soft pad, which is kind of good. I'm not really getting a great deal of assistance from it. So I'm using this pad because I've stopped playing on the dead surface, or at least for now. I'm just enjoying using this pad. I do get a little bit of rebound from it, but not too much. So this is the ProLogic's Blue Lightning practice pad. I love this. I've had this for quite a while. It's a great pad if you haven't checked one out yet. So then after I've played the single stroke roll for 20 minutes, and as I said, at the moment I'm doing this at 152, my next thing is to just rest for a couple of minutes, just maybe 2, 3 or 4 minutes, just allowing the muscles to kind of relax and unwind. And then I will go into a series of 1 minute single stroke rolls. Now I've been doing this starting at 174. So I started at 170 and I've been going up in increments of 4. So for the hell of saving 1 minute of my life, I've started at 174. That's this tempo. And then 178. I'll do that for a minute, and then I'll play at 182 for 1 minute. That's sounding and feeling a little tired at the moment. In fact, I'm sounding and feeling a little tired too. So that's where I'm at. Now, when I talk about the meat and potatoes, the 20 minutes of singles, why am I doing it for 20 minutes? Because I'm trying to build a reflex action. So this is your homework if you dare. What I want you to experience is that sensation of what it feels like after you've played a single stroke roll for 20 minutes. When you take the tempo up, it's like your hands are just on automatic. They feel really relaxed and there's very little effort going into playing a single stroke roll. So what my hope is, as I increase the tempo of the 20 minutes of single stroke rolls, and provided I'm able to stay relaxed during that 20 minutes, then the faster tempos will also increase. So I'm trying to build a reflex. So what I want you to do is try this. Just try it for a day. Play a single stroke roll at say 130 or 140 or wherever you feel comfortable, where you can play that single stroke roll for 20 minutes tension free. And then once you've done that, have a break for a few minutes, 2, 3 or 4 minutes, and then set the metronome to something faster like 160 or 168 or whatever, and then play it for a minute. What you will find is the first 15 seconds perhaps, or even the first half a minute, will feel effortless, and that's the point that I'm trying to get it to. That's not to say that at some point there's not going to be any sensation of really putting effort into it, but I'm trying to develop a reflex, so that's why I'm doing this. So give it a try. I'm really keen to see what you experience or what your experience of this might be. Please leave a comment below. I'm really curious. So that's where we're at this month. As you know, I'm going to keep working on this daily, and we'll see where we end up in a month's time. And it's important to remember that, you know, as we hit those faster tempos, breaking that ceiling is going to take a lot longer. That's, you know, certainly what I'm experiencing at the moment. Going from 140 to 150 was pretty easy. Going to 160 to 170, a little more challenging. And at this point where I'm hovering between, you know, 174 and 182, getting up to those 180 tempos, you know, breaking those ceilings is actually, you know, more time consuming, and I've just got to be patient and allow myself more time in the long term to get there. So that's where I am at the moment. So I wanted to thank you for your support and your comments and your advice and all of that sort of stuff. I really appreciate the community that I'm feeling with all of you. So that's it for this week. I will see you next week, and remember, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. That's sort of that thing there. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, and remember to hit that notification bell so that you know when I've uploaded a video, which is every week. So until next week, have a great week, have fun practicing, give this a go, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Now when I practice,